Good evening and welcome to episode 41 of the Nicola Valley Talk, a podcast provided by Tourism Nicola Valley, Experience Nicola Valley, and Experience Merritt. Nicola Valley Talk is broadcast live every Thursday at 7 p.m. from Merritt, British Columbia, Canada. Nicola Valley Talk is part of an award-winning Experience Nicola Valley program. It was awarded the 2021 Canada Prestige Award for the Best Marketing Program of the Year and the Best Community Project Award for communities under 20,000 people by the British Columbia Economic Development Association. My name is Melvina White. I'm your country lifestyle blogger with Experience Nicola Valley and your host tonight on the Nicola Valley Talk. And working the control room is our eco-blogger, Tanya Stewart. Tonight, we're going to talk campgrounds and Rving in the Nicola Valley with Carol Norman of Moon Shadows RV Park and Campground. Let's put together a big round of applause for our special guest tonight, Carol Norman, manager of Moon Shadows RV Park and Campground. Welcome to the show, Carol.
Thank you very much, Malva. Glad to be here.
So, camping is more popular than ever, so let's get to it with our question. Carol, would you please take a moment to introduce yourself and share a little about who is Carol and Larry Norman of Moon Shadows RV Park and Campground?
Larry and I have been working in the campground industry for about 12 years now. And we have always enjoyed the outdoors, have always gone camping. And when it came time to retire, we didn't want to retire, but it was time. We were offered the opportunity to do something that we'd always dreamed of doing. So we tried it out. And 3 campgrounds later, here we are. And this is our 3rd season.
So what makes Moon Shadows RV Park and Campground unique to the Nicola Valley?
Oh my, we're right on the river. We are rustic. It feels like you're out in the bush. When you're not, you're 10 minutes from town. The campsites some are very cozy and some are quite large. Our new ones are huge, but they don't totally serve the purpose because they're too narrow. Somebody's still working in the dark ages. But it's fun. We get to meet so many different people from all over the world, except last year and this year, of course. But normally, campgrounds are wonderful people. Campers are wonderful people and come to the campground. This is their thing to do.
The campground is situated right next door to one of BC's best and largest festival sites. Prior to COVID-19, the site held such world-class events like Rock and River Music Fest and Base Coast Festival. What effect do these events have on your campground, and what are some of the residual effects of holding these world-class events in the Nicola Valley?
Oh my. The effect on the campground itself is large. As a matter of fact, it's huge. We provide, in this campground, hot showers, running water, flush toilets, Wi-Fi, a relaxing atmosphere. It doesn't have all the noise because we don't allow parties. It doesn't have all the noise and stuff that goes on the campground. They don't have very many of those amenities over there. So we get the benefit here, as well as if you're very quiet and sit by the river, you can hear all the music. So you have a good time anyways. It's wonderful here.
Do you have
the effect that has on the Nicola Valley is hugely financial. I am sure that there are side benefits to the income that comes here, the grocery stores, the clothing stores, the restaurants, the gas stations, everything.
And I noticed when I was out there the other day that there was cards for a welder, and there's tow truck cards. There's All
and RV repairs and the businesses in town that stock RV supplies and can, recommend what needs to be done when and how to get it done. It's all here. Everybody comes and they give us, and all the menus from all the restaurants. Great.
Yeah, I don't think people realize the full benefits of having the campgrounds in close proximity to the town. I hear people over time in different conversations. Well, we're out here, like it's 15 minutes into town, it's 20 minutes into town, but they still come.
They do. And a huge selling point when people phone to make a reservation or to ask questions before they make the reservation. How far are you from town? Less than 10 minutes from the grocery store. Another half a minute and you're at the liquor store. Hey, sold.
I think they're both important.
Well, when you're camping, you got to eat.
Campground bookings, road tripping, and motorhome rentals are way up since the arrival of the pandemic. For example, North America leisure travels prior to the pandemic, camping accounted for 11% of all the trips, while post-COVID-19, camping is likely to account for 20% of all the trips. What are some of the developing camping trends you're witnessing when comparing pre-COVID to mid-pandemic?
Pre-COVID, we would get people who had camped a lot, regular type campers. They would be in anything from a 20 to a 30-foot trailer or motorhome or fifth wheel, something like that. But with the onset of COVID, many people couldn't take the long trips that they were used to taking by flying to a place or going on a cruise or whatever. So they spent their money on humongous units, and didn't know how to drive them, weren't taught how to set them up and how to use them. Some people, with my poor husband, spent a lot of last summer teaching how to, use their facilities to the best advantage. There are a different kind of people that are coming now, and I think it's a good thing to a degree because they get to experience a whole different way of vacationing. I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot more than 20% increase, because a lot of people think, I didn't know all this was here. I've been traveling to Mexico, or I've been traveling to Vegas, and I didn't know we had all this beautiful stuff here. I'll be back. So that's a good thing.
We have a question here. How is it to swim in the river?
Well, right now it's not good because it's running high and cold. But come about the end of June, the beginning of July, it starts warming up and the water level goes down a bit, so it warms up faster. Everybody swims in the river, they lay in the river, many things, but one of the best things that people do, and a lot of them once it catches on, is they put their gazebo in the middle of the river, and they take their metal lawn chairs and they sit around under the gazebo so that they're out of the sun and sit there and have their beer or whatever, and the water runs by their legs and keeps them all nice and cool. They love it.
Perfect.
It's the best thing that ever was.
How do you see the tourism industry post COVID-19?
I think there's a couple of things. One is I think that the people who have begun to camp will continue. They may take, in the first year or two, they may revert to their original vacation plan, but I think they'll come back. They'll be campers. Once you become a camper, you're hooked.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah. I think tourism will go back to the original.
The old-fashioned way. Go
Yeah,
camping, have your campfire, and roast your marshmallows, all that kind of stuff. It's all coming back.
Yeah,
I think it's
it
great.
is. We've just had some serious province-wide travel restrictions put in place by the provincial health officer. I understand that you've got some essential worker reservations, but what kind of effect has this had on your vacationing reservations, and what do you see moving forward after the ban is removed?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I had probably 40 reservations between now and the end of April. And then I was about 70% full for the month of May, except for May long weekend. I was full to the rafters. I had no space left. And now I'm empty. All my camping spots are now empty.
What about June?
Nothing's happened with June yet because they haven't said anything about the rules. June is normally a slower month because the kids are still in school. That'll be different this year. It was different last year. I'm hoping it'll be different this year. July, I'm nearly full. August, I'm nearly full. I'm working on Labor Day weekend now.
Wow. And that's without the festivals happening.
And that's without the festivals.
So
That's without the festivals. And there's no tenting here either because we don't have any bathrooms and showers for them, so we can't have tenters.
right.
And that's been a real big bite.
Yeah, I can. So, Carol, you've been a guest at Experience Nicola Valley Award events where we recognize our blogging team's accomplishments. Experience Nicola Valley, Experience Merritt, and this talk show, Nicola Valley Talk, are a part of the Tourism Nicola Valley program, which has just won Best Community Marketing Program in Canada and Best Economic Development Program in BC for communities under 20,000 people. We also just received recognition from Blake Richards, the federal MP from Banff-Airdrie. Blake was also the recipient of a Canadian Tourism Award for his work in Parliament on behalf of the tourism industry. I had to mention this because we are darn proud, and we also need to send a big thank you out to Canada Travel, Greg and Colin Gerard, who have provided the inspiration and encouragement to the success of this program. What do you think of the Experience Nicola Valley program, and what are you hearing out there in the community? What are you hearing the program brings to the region, or what do you feel the program brings to the region?
That's a little bit of an unfair question because I'm so busy here, I don't get out into the community. But I do spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I do spend a lot of time on Twitter, and I see comments all the time about how great this organization that has been put together by Greg and isn't that awful? My brain just went dead. By the Gerard brothers, what they've done for the community and how it's made the Nicola Valley and Merritt in particular better known everywhere. Last year, I'm telling a little bit of a fib here. Last year, we had a phone call from a gentleman in Germany who wanted to bring his family and come camping. And of course, it didn't happen because COVID hit right in the middle of all of that. But he had heard about the Nicola Valley through a television, a Facebook blurb, and he was all excited to come here. He canceled, booked for this year, had to cancel. He'll be here next year.
Wow.
He's determined to come and see what this is all about.
And we're hearing more and more and more of that all the time. And you know what? I'm gonna read to you what was sent to us. Congratulations to Tourism Nicola Valley on receiving the 2021 Canada Prestige Award for Marketing Program of the Year, as well as the 2021 BC Economic Development Association Community Project Award for the Experience Nicola Valley program. You have created a winning focus on showcasing all of the beauty and splendor that your region has to offer to an audience that has spanned the globe, all while positively impacting your local community as well. I wish you all the best as you celebrate these outstanding achievements. Sincerely, Blake Richards, MP, Banff and Airdrie.
Wow, I am impressed. When I saw the notice that you had won these prizes, these awards, I thought, you know, for a little town, less than 20,000 people, look what's happened. This is great. Good for you guys.
Well, and it's been, like I say, it's been a lot of work, and we have a great team. And
You do. I have listened to some of you, and I've been to some of your events, and yes, I hear it all. You guys work well together. You do really well. Congratulations to all of you.
Well, thank you. So, Carol, before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
I was sort of looking down the questions coming in because I do see them now. I didn't see them in the beginning, but I see them now. Yes, you're allowed to bring those fake campfires. This is one of the benefits that we have in this park. At this point, we are allowed to have campfires in all of our sites. The only time it isn't happening is when there's a fire ban on. That's the difference between us and the other campgrounds. We can have fires. And yes, you can bring your little propane one anytime you like. You can use it if you prefer. We have firewood for sale here. So if you don't want to lug it all the way here from wherever you are, you can get it from us.
Perfect.
Thank you for that opportunity.
I have a question here that says, do you have a certificate? And yes, I do. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but.
Oh, isn't that pretty? It's got all kinds of, are they all provincial? Because I recognize the Nova Scotia one. Are those provincial emblems?
It's all the provinces. This is a federal,
Wow. Congratulations. That's nice.
So we're pretty proud.
I guess so. Well deserved. How much to camp? Oh, it depends. It depends. If you want just a 10, well, you can't do that now anyway. If you want a 30 amp service back in, it'll be $44.10, and that includes your tax per night. If you want something a whole lot fancier at the top end of the list, where you get 50 amp service and a pull through, where you don't have to back up, just drive right through, you're looking at $50.40, I think, right off the top of my head. So it's got the gamut in between. It depends on what services you need and want.
That's pretty cheap vacationing.
Oh, man, it sure is. Compare that to a hotel room.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Carol. And that was some great information. And let's hope that this all turns around and you can get those reservations back for June and July.
Well, it looks like it's going to happen, but it still hurts me to look out at my campground that was busy and is no longer.
I know what that feels like.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We'll make it work. We just want to get rid of this virus. Everybody stay home, please.
Yes.
In your own health unit or health district.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you to Carol and Moon Shadows RV Park and Campground for joining us tonight on the Nicola Valley Talk. Thank you to our viewers for joining us tonight. And please continue to spread the word that we are the best resource in the Nicola Valley for tourism and small business. Also, please make an effort to follow, share, and comment on our Experience Nicola Valley Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube page. Make sure to turn in next week, April 29th, when Sunny C. Khan from City Furniture will be our guest on the Nicola Valley Talk. We're going to be talking some furniture. Remember, every Thursday night, join us, same time, same place at 7 p.m. right here on Nicola Valley Talk. Thank you for watching tonight. My name is Melvina White. I'm your country lifestyle blogger on Experience Nicola Valley, and your host on experiencenicolaValley.com. Thank you and good night.
Well, Melva, a great show again. I want to compliment you and Carol. Totally perfect, great show, and a lot of information from Moon Shadows. I love the place myself. Lots of trees, and it's nice and cool when it gets really, really hot. As we know, Merritt can get so hot, right? And yeah, so bang on. So again, and speaking of camping and climate and environmental stuff, I am your environmental blogger for Experience Nicola Valley bloggers. And so always remember to reduce, reuse, recycle, and rethink, and leave no trace behind, because merit matters, as does the world. Okay. So sweet dreams, Nicola Valley, and thank you for your support and all your support. Good night.
Are we off of there now?